What's going on, guys? This is Rob, and if you're enjoying the content here on my channel, then make sure you hit the like button and make sure you hit subscribe so you can help decide what direction the content on my channel goes in the foreseeable future. When I first moved to Colorado, when my pods container arrived, everything inside of it was totally shredded. I mean, it was absolutely trash. Like my TV was smashed, my desk was smashed, never used pod shipping and storage. I tweeted it all out on Twitter because I tried to call their customer service and they just kept sending me to voicemail. I just started posting images and tagging them on Twitter, and it took about 10 images for them to finally respond. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna advise everybody to never use your service again. But they totally trashed my PC. It was this massive beast of a PC. But I was up until 5:45 in the morning yesterday, finally getting it all sorted out. It only took 3 months to do it. 2 GTX 1080 Ti's later, a new reservoir pump and 2 new reservoirs, systems refilled, the PC's all put back together again. I am happy. I'm very satisfied at the moment. So yeah, never use pods, shipping, and storage. Anyway, what's going on, guys? This is Rob, and as you all know, our Omega Beyond Omega level series is designed to showcase the powers and origins of some of the most powerful characters to ever exist in the history of comic books. Sometimes we pull jokes where we do like Pickle Rick from Rick and Morty, but more often than not, it's just a character who existed in some form or fashion over the course of Marvel, DC, and Valiant's comic book history, and we showcase how powerful they are. In this video, we are going to take a break from superheroes in the traditional sense, and we're going to focus on what I consider to be the most powerful force in comic books. That's right, you guys, the Rob Corps, my fans. Now, as we always do, we need to focus on the origin of the Rob Corps. And then we'll get into an explanation of what the Rob Corps is capable of. Now, while the Rob Corps would not formally come into existence until December of 2013, it can actually trace its beginnings back further than that, to a time when a man with a passion for Marvel Comics and a desire to share his knowledge with others was struck by a spark of inspiration, largely inspired by Sea Nanners. In the following months, he would make a decision to use the widespread popularity of the internet in an attempt to reach those who had a desire to bolster their knowledge of the Marvel Universe. To that end, this guy, me, created a video explaining a pretty obscure mutant named Jason Wingard, uploaded it, and crossed my fingers hoping for the best. It was in the response to this video that the true power of the Rob Corps was first revealed. Although not yet formally organized, many of the individuals that would go on to comprise the Rob Corps would find their way to this video, either through a stroke of luck on YouTube's search engine or a post on the vast internet forum known as Reddit, because I spam that website a lot, and I did it hoping people would watch my videos, and they did. Now, throughout the coming months and years, the Rob Corps would grow in number and in influence. While you guys originally came seeking content, you guys soon began shaping it through your influence in the comments section on the videos that were featured on this channel, then known as Marvel Explained anyway, covering only Marvel Universe content. As membership of the Rob Corps increased, however, so did your all's desire for knowledge, and eventually craving information from beyond the boundaries of the Marvel Universe, and demanded the channel begin covering characters and concepts from the DC Universe as well. Now, because of the extreme power that you guys wield, man, I'm making you guys out to be absolute monsters. Because of the power you guys wield, we were able to transform the Marvel Explained channel to the Comics Explained channel, as our scope began to expand to include comics from not only Marvel, but DC, Image, Valiant, and others. Fun fact, I once covered a story called Jesus Hates Zombies. It's amazing. You guys really need to check it out. So, in a world where there is a seemingly endless supply of YouTubers covering all different kinds of content, each with their own respective fan bases, what is it that sets the Rob Corps apart and makes you guys truly beyond Omega level? Well, first, at over 1.1 million strong at the time that this video is being recorded, the Rob Corps is among the most numerous in the entire YouTube comic book community. And honestly, that statistic alone is unbelievable. The fact that you guys have put up with me for 4 years with all my waxing and waning and the times when I wanted to quit and all that kind of stuff, it's astounding. It's astounding to me. You guys have outlasted some of my girlfriends. Just think about that. I have a better rapport with you than I did with the women that I dated. How pitiful is that? In addition to this, the Rob Corps' desire for knowledge matches that of any other fan base for any other comic book YouTuber out there. In fact, when the Rob Corps officially formed, you guys created an oath for yourselves that highlighted your quest for comic book knowledge. I held a contest on my channel. I said, I'm hosting a contest to form a Rob Corps oath, and the winner gets to actually have that oath. And the oath of the Rob Corps As amazing as it is, from pages small to screen of bright, no comic shall escape my sight. Let those who choose a side and fight beware the power of the Rob Corps light. Yes, that is the winning oath. The greatest lantern oath ever. Now, once this oath is recited, a member of the Rob Corps will receive the Gray Power Ring, which comes with its own set of abilities, which are powered by the knowledge of its wearer, exactly how the Green Power Ring draws on willpower and the Red Lantern Ring draws on rage. Fun fact, when I went to New York Comic Con and I told people I was giving away Rob Corps rings, that place was a madhouse. Dude, it's one of the craziest things ever, most overwhelming things ever. I brought everybody outside of the room and then I was like, all right guys, I can't think of a better place to do this, so we're just gonna start handing out Rob Corps rings. You would have thought I was Jesus healing people's kids. There were like people, like hands everywhere. I was just grabbing rings and putting them into hands. I showed up with 45 rings. There were 200 people there. I was like, so I guess the next time I go to New York Comic Con next year or the next con I go to, I'll have to show up with like 500 rings, hoping that, you know, I have enough for people. I mean, with 500 rings, surely I should have enough for people, but that'll be a whole bunch of stuff to do. Either that, or I can just tack it on to the store, to like set up a whole store, sell merchandise and tack the rings on, and then just sell the rings that way. I hate not being able to give you guys rings, but regardless, in addition to creating hard light constructs of the gray variety, an individual wielding the Rob Corps ring will be able to know all past and present events going on throughout the universe, as well as the powers and abilities of anyone involved in those events. Pretty cool, huh? I like that little tidbit when it comes to what the Rob Corps can do. So while the Rob Corps ring does not allow its user to predict the future, it basically bestows all the knowledge available at any given time to its wearer. There are, however, weaknesses inherent to the Rob Corps. For example, the sheer amount of knowledge available to members of the Rob Corps must be constantly kept in check by the concentration of its wearer. Otherwise, the wearer's focus is broken and they'll be overwhelmed by their vast knowledge and driven insane. I mean, a person can only really know so much about Mad Jim Jaspers before they're driven mad themselves. If a member of the Rob Corps becomes arrogant because of their advanced knowledge, their hard light constructs will become progressively weaker as their arrogance grows. I'm ashamed to say, if we had Rob Corps rings like 2 years ago, I would have lost mine immediately. I was in the right state like 2 years ago. It was pitiful. I thought I was the center of the universe. Just ask Comicstorian. Now, if their arrogance reaches a certain point, however, the Rob Corps ring will abandon its user entirely and seek out a host with more humility. So where does the ring draw the line? At what point do you cross this line where your ring will leave you? Well, I'm not sure it's ever really happened, but I think it's just beyond the point where people start posting really condescending comments on videos about scientists turning themselves into pickles. Once you get beyond that, you're probably flirting with the ring leaving you. In all seriousness though, casting aside joking and all that kind of stuff, one of the things we always do on our Beyond Omega level video is look at some of the feats of our subject. And the Rob Corps has what I think is the most impressive feat of all. Because of you guys, I was able to go from working a job as a dispatcher that I did not particularly enjoy. I love the people there, but the job itself was a little more than I was beginning to be able to handle. I went from being able to work that job to being able to make videos about what it is that I love, about comic books, and talking to you guys about comic books. I mean, how crazy is that? You know, and it's entirely because of you guys, because of the fact that you watch my videos. It's because of the work that my editor puts in putting them together. It's because of the work that Ryan, my writer, puts in writing the script. It's because of the work that my database manager does, that Sean does in making really good wine. It's all because of this huge effort, this huge undertaking that everybody goes through in order to make this channel successful. But all of it would be for naught if you guys never watched anything. And so this video is really a tribute to you guys, a tribute to my fans, a tribute to everybody who helped me to get to where I am now, because without you guys, it wouldn't be possible. You know, so while I would love to take credit for everything, while I would like to say that I'm the reason why everything's successful, I'm not. I'm just one cog in a very, very, very large wheel that serves the purpose of making the Comics Explained channel move in a forward direction. I mean, imagine what it would be like if Comics Explained wasn't here. Imagine what it would be like if Comics Explained didn't exist. Well, then, you know, we'd all have to get our comic book content broken down into digestible rights and read dramatically back to you. And what kind of a world would that be? Benny, #Comicstorian sucks. So while this may have seemed like a weird video video concept when it showed up in your subscription feed. The real reason I made this video is just to thank you guys. Again, just to say, you guys are amazing. You know, you guys are supportive. It's super cool to read your comments, the ones who aren't being jerks to people. It really is awesome to kind of see you guys help my channel grow and help me get to where it is. There's no landmark moment coming up. It's not like I'm quitting. I just felt like making a video that would be a tribute to you guys. So again, basically, thank you. And like, for those of you guys who are new, hit the sub button. Become part of the Rob Corps. And like 1 million people were told, 1.1 million people were told, in fact, before you have the desire to know all things. Welcome to the Rob Corps. With that being said, guys, we're gonna bring this video to an end. And I guess I could say it again. If you are new here to Comics Explained, make sure you guys hit the sub button to become part of the Rob Corps. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like, and I will catch you all later. Peace.